Hey Capricorn, welcome to October, and I was just telling Sagittarius, you two are the only ones who got these Archangel cards at the beginning of Libra. See, I'm already getting ahead of myself. Libra season's gonna go by very quickly, but let me read this to you. It's Ego with Archangel Yophiel, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. Now, I've meditated with Jophiel, however you would like to pronounce it. And this was such a beautiful and inspiring energy. It was very romanticized almost, which if we pulled this card, you may not be feeling like that, but stick around because there's some big messages coming through. And then we'll have the extended too if you want to go deeper than here on YouTube. So for some of you, tomorrow, Pluto retrograde ends, but it's in your first house. Okay, Pluto retrograde ends, but for a lot of you, it's in your first house because it's in the sign of Capricorn. And you may be feeling a little stifled in the work department in some way, even if you're employed or have your own business. There is some type of lack of creativity that you're feeling, maybe, or maybe you're just pulled in a more critical direction as a Virgo season. Okay, I do see you looking really deeply into certain topics, and these could be negative or fear-based. However, Yophiel is associated with not just creativity, but wisdom and beauty and art and releasing prejudice and self-awareness and hope and joy. And I feel like when our creativity is blocked in some way, maybe our sacral, it really disconnects us from everything that we do, even if we don't consider ourselves creative. So let's go through these really quick. The Four of Wands, the Queen of Wands, Justice. We have the Eight of Wands, the Fool, and the Hierophant, and the Ten of Wands. What's this last one? Three of Wands. Let's discuss these, because also if you are Capricorn rising, this full moon is happening in your fourth house of your home and security and just the place you rest your head. So that could mean some big stuff. So let's talk about these cards. I hope it's not annoying. Let's look at them like this. Usually I would pause and cut this out, but you're just gonna see my process. So I do see some activity happening in your home this weekend of the full moon and with the Pluto retrograding returning and all of that. I see you maybe making some big changes that will suit everyone, including yourself. Balancing some things out, moving towards a fresh start, looking for somewhat of a refreshed environment, okay, in which you dwell. Whenever you're home, you want something new implied. For some of you, it could have to do with a Taurus or an Aries, but this looks like the full moon that we're about to have is pushing you in a direction where you don't have to carry so much. You don't have to carry these fear-based, negative, entrapping ideas and really embrace the present moment for the beauty that it is. Okay, I see you finding a new appreciation for either your meditation practice Well, how annoying is that my the corner was sticking out? That's fine. It's fine. And maybe those little judgments are towards yourself. Don't be judgmental. Look, if you're being judgmental towards others, I know it's annoying, but you're definitely doing it to yourself. And whereas we're human, okay, everyone does it. It's literally a human instinct to judge, a situation, a place, a thing. Is this safe? Is this not? But once we know we're safe, and we can kind of talk ourselves out of that. I mean, that's the ego. And it's okay. It's not something we need to kill off or drowned or just, leave behind, never to return. No, our ego is always going to be with us and it's there to protect us. It's only when we let the ego run the show that things get sticky and messy and we find ourselves carrying on more than is comfortable. Okay, there is wisdom in letting go. I think I was telling Taurus that there is a difference between letting go and getting rid of something. I think Capricorn has a tendency to want to, find the problem, eliminate the problem, and then everything will smooth out. And maybe that's worked for you in the past, or maybe it's just been something you've been doing. But I see you loosening up. You understand how much you're carrying. You understand that it's breaking your back. And by the time this happy destination arrives, you might not be feeling the best, or that pattern of stress or that pattern of judgment can really invade in our relaxation. But it's a theme during Libra season. Look, next week after this full moon, okay, a couple of days after the full moon, Mercury moves into Libra. And it's very much like a light version of Mercury in Virgo. It's just maybe a little more gossipy, okay? It might be a little more unnecessary, like you didn't have to say that out loud, but you chose to, type of thing. Be very clear, just sort of where your heart is right now. Fear will attack our root chakra, but truthfully, if one chakra is off, then other ones are at risk of, absorbing this type of stuff. The things that come out of our throat chakra are really just a mixture of our hearts and our third eye, but all of the alignments, all of the openness that we can have a capacity for within our bodies and our minds and our spirits. Yeah, okay, let me keep shuffling. That's sort of where I see Capricorn moving. I think that's really how you're going to get this fresh start. That's just something to be mindful of. Ace of Pentacles, Knights of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. Okay, I see some of you are wanting to leave some things behind, which is good, which is what we just talked about, letting go versus getting rid of something. When you let go, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to keep thinking about something that you let go of. Depending on the attachments, on the situation, yeah, you might have a grieving period, but the length of time, right here, this is you taking what you have and moving forward. I'm not done with this. The Six of Swords. So the traditional card, if you're on a small boat, okay, and it's you and maybe, someone you really care about or your family or whatever, and just hypothetically, right? And you can only take so much with you. You're not going to take the unnecessary, the extra heavy stuff. You're not, because you're not going to reach the next stage, the next phase with all of that junk, which a lot of us handled up in Virgo season, but now it's time to more like walk the walk, okay? Moving forward, when it comes to the physical manifestations that you have your sights on, I think some of you are doing the process the best way you know how. And I think you will find so much power in actually finding the emotional fulfillment first before you put in the action and the effort and the ball moving forward. A lot of us need to see results and tangible reason to feel that Queen of Cups fulfillment, like accomplishment, just joy, right? Hope and joy are one of the things about Yophael. But when you reorder this process that used to work, it used to work, okay, but now you're strained and now it's stressful and it does not work anymore. As a collective, we are moving into a different way of doing things, a way that serves all of us. It might be hard to see the full picture right now, but it's, your job right now is to understand doing your part means filling your own cup first. That is doing your part. Like, and we're all really coming to that brink realization of, okay, so I got to be happy without the thing first for it to manifest, because we've been taught the opposite all of our life. If I don't have a reason to be happy because, my business isn't doing what I wanted to do or whatever. But you think when you get the thing that your emotions will fill in, but it's not sustainable. It's depressing a little bit to think like, oh, I have to continually do all this work in this way and sacrifice and give and be patient and just withhold all these blessings from you until you earn it. That's a really twisted way to hold ourselves in, just hold ourselves separate from what we know we deserve. And yeah, it takes action, but when you have aligned action, there is no waiting period. There is only like joy and creativity and inspiration now that just happens to bring you exactly what you want, because you're already in that high vibrational, emotional, moving place. Heart-centered businesses is where this world's moving. I mean, you see it all over. And a lot of these false constructs of power where people aren't, Victoria's Secret. It's been happening. It's been happening for quite a while. But that was the first one to come to mind. People find out Victoria's Secret's not all that ethical of a company. Okay, and so things like that, on a global scale, on a much larger scale than this reading for you right now. But how does that apply to you? Okay, how are you going to get to your business goals, your, not even business goals, just your life destinations, and sulk about it on your way there? Okay, there's something to be said for taking a moment to analyze or all of that, but when your judgments start coming out of your mouth crazy, or it's fear-based thoughts with no real point to them. And I don't say that to be rude. I mean, but sometimes it's just like, okay, where are we going with this? That's sort of what the energy is right here. So let's see what else for Capricorn before we get into the extended. So this next card will lead us into the extended. Next two cards. Six of Cups. We have the Two of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Okay, so we will talk about how all of this ties into your love life, your relationships. Maybe this is business if you're single, but I definitely see love coming in. I see a love connection. It could be someone from the past just being part of your energy field, and as a result of some of this overly focused thoughts on whatever this pertains to you, it can attract people from your past. Okay, it doesn't have to be Mercury retrograde, doesn't have, I'm not here to tell you, oh, your ex is coming back, because that's like the most crazy thing. Like, I feel like that's every tarot reader everywhere right now. But not everyone. Obviously, there's amazing ones. Look at me being judgmental. But it's just such a cliche thing to say. It's such a cliche thing to say. I don't know how long that dirt has been on my hand. But anyway, okay, let's get into the extended.